Almond, Prunus amygdalus sin, Prunus dulcis mill, da web nam, eleg. Non-Prunus dulcis rauchi is a species of tree from the genus Prunus. Along with the peach, it is classified in the subgenus Amygdalus, distinguished from the other subgenera by corrugations on the shell endocarp surrounding the seed. The fruit of the almond is a drupe, consisting of an outer hull and a hard shell with the seed, which is not a true nut. Shelling almonds refers to removing the shell to reveal the seed. Almonds are sold shelled or unshelled. Blanched almonds are shelled almonds that have been treated with hot water to soften the seed coat, which is then removed to reveal the white embryo. Once almonds are cleaned and processed, they can be stored for around a year if kept refrigerated. At higher temperatures, they will become rancid more quickly. Almonds are used in many cuisines, often featuring prominently in desserts, such as marzipan. The almond tree prospers in a moderate Mediterranean climate with cool winter weather. It is rarely found wild in its original setting. Almonds were one of the earliest domesticated fruit trees due to the ability to produce quality offspring entirely from seed without using suckers and cuttings. Evidence of domesticated almonds in the early Bronze Age has been found in the archaeological sites of the Middle East, and subsequently across the Mediterranean region and similar arid climates with cool winters. California produces about 80% of the world's almond supply. Due to high acreage and water demand for almond cultivation and need for pesticides, California almond production may be unsustainable, especially during the persistent drought and heat from climate change in the 21st century. Droughts in California have caused some producers to leave the industry, leading to lower supply and increased prices. Description: the almond is a deciduous tree growing to 3 to 4.5 meters, 10 to 15 feet in height, with a trunk of up to 30 centimeters, 12 inches in diameter. The young twigs are green at first, becoming purplish where exposed to sunlight, then gray in their second year. The leaves are 8 to 13 centimeters, 3 to 5 in long, with a serrated margin and a 2.5 centimeters, 1 in petiole. The fragrant flowers are white to pale pink, 3 to 5 centimeters, 1 to 2 in diameter with 5 petals, produced singly or in pairs and appearing before the leaves in early spring. Almond trees thrive in Mediterranean climates with warm, dry summers and mild, wet winters. The optimal temperature for their growth is between 15 and 30 degrees C, 59 and 86 degrees F. And the tree buds have a chilling requirement of 200 to 700 hours below 7.2 degrees C, 45 degrees F, to break dormancy. Almonds begin bearing an economic crop in the third year after planting. Trees reach full bearing 5 to 6 years after planting. The fruit matures in the autumn, 7 to 8 months after flowering. The almond fruit is 3.5 to 6 centimeters, 138 to 238 in long. It is not a nut but a drupe. The outer covering, consisting of an outer exocarp or skin and mesocarp or flesh, fleshy in other members of Prunus such as the plum and cherry, is instead a thick, leathery gray-green coat with a downy exterior, called the hull. Inside the hull is a woody endocarp which forms a reticulated, hard shell, like the outside of a peach pit, called the pyrena. Inside the shell is the edible seed, commonly called a nut. Generally, one seed is present, but occasionally two occur. After the fruit matures, the hull splits and separates from the shell, and an abscission layer forms between the stem and the fruit so that the fruit can fall from the tree. During harvest, mechanized tree shakers are used to expedite fruits falling to the ground for collection. Almond blossoms, young almond fruit, green almonds, mature almond nut, almond shell, a rare double-seeded shell, harvested almonds, blanched almonds. Taxonomy. Scientific name. The almond was named Amygdalus communis by Carl Linnaeus in his Species Plantarum in 1753. For the name Amygdalus, he referred to Gaspard Bauhin's Pinax, 1623. In 1801, the species was for the first time placed in the genus Prunus by August Batch. In that genus, the name Prunus communis was no longer available because in 1778, William Hudson had already assigned it to a taxon in which he also included the plum, Prunus domestica. Batch thereupon named the species Prunus amygdalus, where amygdalus, is the old generic name and should therefore be treated as a noun in apposition. Meanwhile, in 1768, Philip Miller had published the name of what he believed to be a second species of almond, Amygdalus dulcis. He mentioned Linnaeus Amygdalus communis as the first species. It was not until 1967 that the combination Prunus dulcis was published for the almond by David Alardus Webb, on the assumption that Amygdalus dulcis was nothing more than a synonym of Amygdalus communis, and thus an available name for that species. The epithet dulcis, 1768, is older than Amygdalus, 1801, and would therefore have priority. Webb noted that it was unfortunate that a species known for 165 years as Prunus amygdalus now had to be renamed under the rules of nomenclature. However, it later turned out that in 1967 the name Prunus dulcis was no longer available for the almond, because it had already been used for a cherry in an 1878 publication by L'Abbé Rauchi. The oldest valid combination in Prunus is therefore Prunus amygdalus. Sweet and bitter almonds. Blossoming of bitter almond tree. The seeds of Prunus amygdalus var. Dulcis are predominantly sweet, but some individual trees produce seeds that are somewhat more bitter. The genetic basis for bitterness involves a single gene, the bitter flavor furthermore being recessive, both aspects making this trait easier to domesticate. The fruits from Prunus amygdalus var. Amara are always bitter, as are the kernels from other species of genus Prunus, such as apricot, peach, and cherry, although to a lesser extent. The bitter almond is slightly broader and shorter than the sweet almond, and contains about 50% of the fixed oil that occurs in sweet almonds. It also contains the enzyme emulsin, which, in the presence of water, acts on the two soluble glucosides amygdalin and prunicin, yielding glucose, cyanide, and the essential oil of bitter almonds, which is nearly pure benzaldehyde, the chemical causing the bitter flavor. Bitter almonds may yield 4 to 9 milligrams of hydrogen cyanide per almond, and contain 42 times higher amounts of cyanide than the trace levels found in sweet almonds. The origin of cyanide content in bitter almonds is via the enzymatic hydrolysis of amygdalin. P450 monooxygenases are involved in the amygdalin biosynthetic pathway. A point mutation in a BHLH transcription factor prevents transcription of the two cytochrome P450 genes, resulting in the sweet kernel trait. Etymology. The word almond is a loanword from Old French almand or alemend, descended from Late Latin amingula, modified from Classical Latin amygdala, which is in turn borrowed from Ancient Greek amygdale, letter 1F00 mu epsilon gamma delta alpha lambda, cf. Amygdala, an almond-shaped portion of the brain. Late Old English had amygdales almonds. The adjective amygdaloid, literally, like an almond, almond-like, is used to describe objects which are roughly almond-shaped, particularly a shape which is part way between a triangle and an ellipse. For example, the amygdala of the brain uses a direct borrowing of the Greek term amygdale. Origin and distribution. The precise origin of the almond is controversial due to estimates for its emergence across wide geographic regions. Sources indicate that its origins were in an area stretching across Central Asia, Iran, Turkmenistan, Tajikistan, Kurdistan, Afghanistan, and Iraq, or in an Eastern Asian subregion between Mongolia and Uzbekistan. In other assessments, both botanical and archaeological evidence indicates that almonds originated and were first cultivated in West Asia, particularly in countries of the Levant. Other estimates specified Iran and Anatolia, present-day Turkey, as origin locations of the almond, with botanical evidence for Iran as the main origin center. The wild form of domesticated almond also grew in parts of the Levant. Almond cultivation was spread by humans centuries ago along the shores of the Mediterranean Sea into northern Africa and southern Europe, and more recently to other world regions, notably California. Selection of the sweet type from the many bitter types in the wild marked the beginning of almond domestication. The wild ancestor of the almond used to breed the domesticated species is unknown. The species Prunus fensliana may be the most likely wild ancestor of the almond, in part because it is native to Armenia and western Azerbaijan, where it was apparently domesticated. Wild almond species were grown by early farmers, at first unintentionally in the garbage heaps and later intentionally in their orchards. Cultivation. Persian miniature depiction of the almond harvest at Kandy Badam, Fergana Valley, 16th century. A grove of almond trees. An almond shaker before and during a tree's harvest. Almonds were one of the earliest domesticated fruit trees owing to their ability to be grown from seed, allowing their cultivation to have perhaps predated the advent of grafting. Domesticated almonds appear in the early Bronze Age, 3000 to 2000 BCE, such as the archaeological sites of Numera, Jordan, or possibly earlier. Another well-known archaeological example of the almond is the fruit found in Tutankhamun's tomb in Egypt, c. 1325 BCE, probably imported from the Levant. Ibn al-Awam's 12th century book on agriculture includes an article on almond tree cultivation in Spain. Of the European countries that the Royal Botanic Garden Edinburgh reported as cultivating almonds, Germany is the northernmost, though the domesticated form can be found as far north as Iceland. Varieties. Almond trees are small to medium-sized, but commercial cultivars can be grafted onto a different rootstock to produce smaller trees. Varieties include: Nonpareil originates in the 1800s, a large tree that produces large, smooth, thin-shelled almonds with 60 to 65% edible kernel per nut. Requires pollination from other almond varieties for good nut production. Chuono originates in Italy, has thicker, hairier shells with only 32% of edible kernel per nut. The thicker shell gives some protection from pests such as the navel orangeworm. Does not require pollination by other almond varieties. Mariana, used as a rootstock to result in smaller trees. Breeding. Breeding programs have found the high shell seal trait. Pollination. The most widely planted varieties of almond are self-incompatible. Hence, these trees require pollen from a tree with different genetic characters to produce seeds. Almond orchards therefore must grow mixtures of almond varieties. In addition, the pollen is transferred from flower to flower by insects. Therefore, commercial growers must ensure there are enough insects to perform this task. The large scale of almond production in the U.S. creates a significant problem of providing enough pollinating insects. Additional pollinating insects are therefore brought to the trees. The pollination of California's almonds is the largest annual managed pollination event in the world, with over 1 million hives, nearly half of all beehives in the U.S., being brought to the almond orchards each February. Much of the supply of bees is managed by pollination brokers, who contract with migratory beekeepers from at least 49 states for the event. This business was heavily affected by colony collapse disorder at the turn of the 21st century, causing a nationwide shortage of honey bees and increasing the price of insect pollination. To partially protect almond growers from these costs, researchers at the Agricultural Research Service, part of the United States Department of Agriculture, USDA, developed self-pollinating almond trees that combine this character with quality characters such as a flavor and yield. Self-pollinating almond varieties exist, but they lack some commercial characters. However, through natural hybridization between different almond varieties, a new variety that was self-pollinating with a high yield of commercial quality nuts was produced. Diseases. Main article, list of almond diseases. Almond trees can be attacked by an array of damaging microbes, fungal pathogens, plant viruses, and bacteria. Pests. Pavement ants Tetramorium caespidum, southern fire ants Solenopsis xyloni, and thief ants Solenopsis molesta are seed predators. Bryobia rubrioculus mites are most known for their damage to this crop. Sustainability. Almond production in California is concentrated mainly in the Central Valley, where the mild climate, rich soil, abundant sunshine, and water supply make for ideal growing conditions. Due to the persistent droughts in California in the early 21st century, it became more difficult to raise almonds in a sustainable manner. The issue is complex because of the high amount of water needed to produce almonds. A single almond requires roughly 1.1 US gallons, 0.92 imperial gallons, 4.2 liters of water to grow properly. Regulations related to water supplies are changing, so some growers have destroyed their current almond orchards to replace with either younger trees or a different crop, such as pistachio, that needs less water. Almond tree with blossoming flowers, Valley of Elah, Israel. Sustainability strategies implemented by the Almond Board of California and almond farmers include tree and soil health and other farming practices, minimizing dust production during the harvest, bee health, irrigation guidelines for farmers, food safety, use of waste biomass as co-products with a goal to achieve zero waste, use of solar energy during processing, job development, support of scientific research to investigate potential health benefits of consuming almonds, international education about sustainability practices, production, almonds production, 2023 tons, country production, United States, 1,790,1,690, Spain, 290, 7,660, Australia, 260,000, Turkey, 170,000, Morocco, 146,059, World, 3,513,970. Source, FAOSTAT UN. In 2023, world production of almonds was 3.5 million tons, led by the United States with 51% of the total, followed by Spain and Australia as secondary producers. Table. United States. In the U.S., production is concentrated in California, where 400,000 ha, 1 million acres, and 6 different almond varieties were under cultivation in 2017, with a yield of 2.25 billion pounds, 1.02 billion kilograms, of shelled almonds. California production is marked by a period of intense pollination during late winter by rented commercial bees transported by truck across the U.S. to almond groves, requiring more than half of the total U.S. commercial honeybee population. The value of total U.S. exports of shelled almonds in 2016 was $3.2 billion. All commercially grown almonds sold as food in the U.S. are sweet cultivars. The U.S. Food and Drug Administration reported in 2010 that some fractions of imported sweet almonds were contaminated with bitter almonds, which contain cyanide. Australia. Australia is the largest almond production region in the Southern Hemisphere. Most of the almond orchards are located along the Murray River corridor in New South Wales, Victoria, and South Australia. Spain. Spain has diverse commercial cultivars of almonds grown in Catalonia, Valencia, Murcia, Andalusia, and Aragon regions, and the Balearic Islands. The almond cultivar Marcona is unique, having a kernel that is short, round, relatively sweet, and delicate in texture. It is marketed by name. Its origin is unknown, but has been grown in Spain over centuries. Toxicity. Bitter almonds contain some 40 times the trace levels of cyanide found in sweet almonds. Extract of bitter almond was once used medicinally, but even in small doses, its effects are severe or lethal, especially in children. The cyanide must be removed before consumption. The acute oral lethal dose of cyanide for adult humans is reported to be 0.5 to 3.5 milligrams/kg, 0.2 to 1.6 milligrams/lb, of body weight, approximately 50 bitter almonds, so that for children consuming 5 to 10 bitter almonds may be fatal. Symptoms of eating such almonds include vertigo and other typical cyanide poisoning effects. Almonds may cause allergy or intolerance. Cross-reactivity is common with peach allergens, lipid transfer proteins, and tree nut allergens. Symptoms range from local signs and symptoms, e.g., oral allergy syndrome, contact urticaria, to systemic signs and symptoms including anaphylaxis, e.g., urticaria, angioedema, gastrointestinal, and respiratory symptoms. Almonds are susceptible to aflatoxin-producing molds. Aflatoxins are potent carcinogenic chemicals produced by molds such as Aspergillus flavus and Aspergillus parasiticus. The mold contamination may occur from soil, previously infested almonds, and almond pests such as navel orange worm. High levels of mold growth typically appear as gray to black filament-like growth. It is unsafe to eat mold-infected tree nuts. Some countries have strict limits on allowable levels of aflatoxin contamination of almonds and require adequate testing before the nuts can be marketed to their citizens. The European Union, for example, introduced a requirement since 2007 that all almond shipments to the EU be tested for aflatoxin. If aflatoxin does not meet the strict safety regulations, either the entire consignment must be reprocessed to eliminate the aflatoxin, or it must be destroyed. Breeding programs have found a trait known as high shell seal. High shell seal provides resistance against these Aspergillus species, and so against the development of their toxins. Mandatory pasteurization in California. After tracing cases of salmonellosis to almonds, the USDA approved a proposal by the Almond Board of California to pasteurize almonds sold to the public. After publishing the rule in March 2007, the almond pasteurization program became mandatory for California companies effective 1 September 2007. Raw, untreated California almonds have not been commercially available in the U.S. since then. California almonds labeled raw must be steam pasteurized or chemically treated with propylene oxide, PPO. This does not apply to imported almonds or almonds sold from the grower directly to the consumer in small quantities. The treatment also is not required for raw almonds sold for export outside of North America. The Almond Board of California states, PPO residue dissipates after treatment. The U.S. Environmental Protection Agency has reported, propylene oxide has been detected in fumigated food products. Consumption of contaminated food is another possible route of exposure. PPO is classified as Group 2B, possibly carcinogenic to humans. The USDA-approved marketing order was challenged in court by organic farmers organized by the Cornucopia Institute, a Wisconsin-based farm policy research group, which filed a lawsuit in September 2008. According to the Institute, this almond marketing order has imposed significant financial burdens on small-scale and organic growers and damaged domestic almond markets. A federal judge dismissed the lawsuit in early 2009 on procedural grounds. In August 2010, a federal appeals court ruled that the farmers have a right to appeal the USDA regulation. In March 2013, the court vacated the suit on the basis that the objections should have been raised in 2007 when the regulation was first proposed. Uses. Nutrition. Almonds nutritional value per 100 g, 3.5 ounces. Energy 2,423 kilojoules, 579 kilocalories. Carbohydrates 21.6 g. Starch 0.7 g. Sugars 4.4 g. Lactose 0 g. Dietary fiber 12.5 g. Fat 49.9 g. Saturated 3.8 g. Monounsaturated 31.6 g. Polyunsaturated 12.3 g. Protein 21.2 g. Vitamins quantity. Vitamin A equiv 2 mg. Beta-carotene 1 mg. Thiamine B1 0.211 milligrams. Riboflavin B2 1.014 milligrams. Niacin B3 3.385 milligrams. Pantothenic acid B5 0.47 milligrams. Vitamin B 60.143 milligrams. Folate B9 50 mg. Vitamin E 26 milligrams. Minerals quantity. Calcium 264 milligrams. Copper 1 milligrams. Iron 3.7 milligrams. Magnesium 268 milligrams. Manganese 2.2 milligrams. Phosphorus 484 milligrams. Potassium 705 milligrams. Selenium 2.5 mg. Sodium 1 milligrams. Zinc 3 milligrams. Other constituents quantity. Water 4.4 g. Link to USDA database entry percentages estimated using U.S. recommendations for adults, except for potassium, which is estimated based on expert recommendation from the national academies. Almonds are 4% water, 22% carbohydrates, 21% protein, and 50% fat. In a 100-gram, 312-ounce reference amount, Almonds supply 2,420 kilojoules, 579 kilocalories, of food energy. The almond is a nutritionally dense food, providing a rich source, 20% or more of the daily value, DV of the B vitamins riboflavin and niacin, vitamin E and the essential minerals calcium, copper, iron, magnesium, manganese, phosphorus, and zinc. Almonds are a moderate source, 10 to 19% DV of the B vitamins thiamine, vitamin B6, and folate, choline, and the essential mineral potassium. They also contain substantial dietary fiber, the monounsaturated fat, oleic acid, and the polyunsaturated fat, linoleic acid. Typical of nuts and seeds, almonds are a source of phytosterols such as beta-sitosterol, stigmasterol, campisterol, sitostanol, and campistanol. Health. Almonds are included as a good source of protein among recommended healthy foods by the USDA. A 2016 review of clinical research indicated that regular consumption of almonds may reduce the risk of heart disease by lowering blood levels of LDL cholesterol. Culinary. Amandines de Provence, poster by Leonetto Cappiello, 1900, which shows a woman eating almond biscuits, almond cookies. While the almond is often eaten on its own, raw or toasted, it is also a component of various dishes. Almonds are available in many forms, such as whole, slivered, and ground into flour. Almond pieces around 2 to 3 millimeters, 1/16 to 1/8 in size, called nibs, are used for special purposes such as decoration. Almonds are a common addition to breakfast muesli or oatmeal. Colomba di Pasqua is the Easter counterpart of the two well-known Italian Christmas desserts panettone and pandoro. Italian Easter bread, the Colomba di Pasqua. It is the Easter counterpart of the two well-known Italian Christmas desserts, panettone and pandoro. Getty images. Almond cream cake covered in slivered almonds. Danish cream cake covered with marzipan. Desserts. A wide range of classic sweets feature almonds as a central ingredient. Marzipan was developed in the Middle Ages. Since the 19th century, almonds have been used to make bread, almond butter, cakes and puddings, candied confections, almond cream-filled pastries, nougat, cookies, macaroons, biscotti, and courabia, and cakes, financiers, Esterhazy torte, and other sweets and desserts. The young, developing fruit of the almond tree can be eaten whole, green almonds, when they are still green and fleshy on the outside and the inner shell has not yet hardened. The fruit is somewhat sour, but is a popular snack in parts of the Middle East, eaten dipped in salt to balance the sour taste. Also in the Middle East, they are often eaten with dates. They are available only from mid-April to mid-June in the Northern Hemisphere. Pickling or brining extends the fruit's shelf life. Marzipan, a smooth, sweetened almond paste, is used in a number of elegant cakes and desserts. Princess cake is covered by marzipan, similar to fondant, as is Battenberg cake. In Sicily, sponge cake is covered with marzipan to make cassetella di Sant'Agata and cassata siciliana, and marzipan is dyed and crafted into realistic fruit shapes to make frutta martorana. The Andalusian Christmas pastry pan de cadis is filled with marzipan and candied fruit. World cuisines. French cuisine. Alternating layers of almond and hazelnut meringue are used to make the dessert dacquoise. Pithivier is one of many almond cream-filled pastries. Germany, Easter bread called Deutsches Osterbrot is baked with raisins and almonds. Greece, almond flour is used to make amygdala pita, a glycotapsiu dessert cake baking in a tray. Almonds are used for kourabids, a Greek version of the traditional courabia almond biscuits. A soft drink known as saumata is made from almonds in various regions. Saudi Arabia, almonds are a typical embellishment for the rice dish kabsa. Iran, green almonds are dipped in sea salt and eaten as snacks on street markets. They are called chakil badam. Candied almonds called nagel are served alongside tea and coffee. Also, sweet almonds are used to prepare special food for babies, named harahir badam. Almonds are added to some foods, cookies, and desserts, or are used to decorate foods. People in Iran consume roasted nuts for special events, for example, during New Year, Nowruz parties. Italy, Colomba di Pasqua is a traditional Easter cake made with almonds. Bitter almonds are the base for amaretti cookies, a common dessert. Almonds are also a common choice as the nuts to include in Torone. Morocco, almonds in the form of sweet almond paste are the main ingredient in pastry fillings and several other desserts. Fried blanched whole almonds are also used to decorate sweet tagines such as lamb with prunes. Southwestern Berber regions of Essaouira and Sousse are also known for amlou, a spread made of almond paste, argan oil, and honey. Almond paste is also mixed with toasted flour and, among others, honey, olive oil or butter, anise, fennel, sesame seeds, and cinnamon to make selou, also called zamida in Meknes or slilu in Marrakesh, a sweet snack known for its long shelf life and high nutritive value. Indian cuisine. Almonds are the base ingredients of pasanda-style and Mughlai curries. Badam halva is a sweet made from almonds with added coloring. Almond flakes are added to many sweets, such as sohan barfi, and are usually visible sticking to the outer surface. Almonds form the base of various drinks which are supposed to have cooling properties. Almond sherbet or sherbeti badam is a common summer drink. Almonds are also sold as a snack with added salt. Israel, almonds are used as a topping for tahini cookies or eaten as a snack. Spain, Marcona almonds are usually toasted in oil and lightly salted. They are used by Spanish confectioners to prepare a sweet called turon. Arabian cuisine. Almonds are commonly used as garnishing for mansaf. British cuisine. Almonds are used for dessert items such as Bakewell tart and Battenberg cake. Milk almonds can be processed into a milk substitute called almond milk. The nut's soft texture, mild flavor, and light coloring, when skinned, make for an efficient analog to dairy, and a soy-free choice for lactose-intolerant people and vegans. Raw, blanched, and lightly toasted almonds work well for different production techniques, some of which are similar to that of soy milk and some of which use no heat, resulting in raw milk. Almond milk, along with almond butter and almond oil, are versatile products used in both sweet and savory dishes. In Moroccan cuisine, sharbet bilouz, a common beverage, is made by blending blanched almonds with milk, sugar, and other flavorings. Flour and skins, almond flour or ground almond meal, combined with sugar or honey as marzipan, is often used as a gluten-free alternative to wheat flour in cooking and baking. Almonds contain polyphenols in their skins, consisting of flavanols, flavonthiols, hydroxybenzoic acids, and flavonones analogous to those of certain fruits and vegetables. These phenolic compounds and almond skin, prebiotic dietary fiber, have commercial interest as food additives or dietary supplements. Syrup. Historically, almond syrup was an emulsion of sweet and bitter almonds, usually made with barley syrup, orgeat syrup, or in a syrup of orange flower water and sugar, often flavored with a synthetic aroma of almonds. Orgeat syrup is an important ingredient in the Mai Tai and many other tiki drinks. Due to the cyanide found in bitter almonds, modern syrups generally are produced only from sweet almonds. Such syrup products do not contain significant levels of hydrocyanic acid, so are generally considered safe for human consumption. Oils. Almond oil nutritional value per 100 g. Energy 3,699 kilojoules, 884 kilocalories. Fat 100 g. Saturated 8.2 g. Monounsaturated 69.9 g. Polyunsaturated 17.4 g. Omega 0. Omega minus 6 17.4 g. Vitamins quantity. Vitamin E 39 milligrams. Vitamin K 7 mg. Link to USDA database entry percentages, estimated using US recommendations for adults. Almonds are a rich source of oil, with 50% of kernel dry mass as fat, whole almond nutrition table. In relation to total dry mass of the kernel, almond oil contains 32% monounsaturated oleic acid, an omega-9 fatty acid, 13% linoleic acid, a polyunsaturated omega-6 essential fatty acid, and 10% saturated fatty acid, mainly as palmitic acid. Linoleic acid, a polyunsaturated omega-3 fat, is not present table. Almond oil is a rich source of vitamin E, providing 261% of the daily value per 100 milliliters. When almond oil is analyzed separately and expressed per 100 grams as a reference mass, the oil provides 3,700 kilojoules, 884 kilocalories of food energy, 8 grams of saturated fat, 81% of which is palmitic acid, 70 grams of oleic acid, and 17 grams of linoleic acid. Oil table. Oleum amygdalae, the fixed oil, is prepared from either sweet or bitter almonds, and is a glyceryl oleate with a slight odor and a nutty taste. It is almost insoluble in alcohol, but readily soluble in chloroform or ether. Almond oil is obtained from the dried kernel of almonds. Sweet almond oil is used as a carrier oil in aromatherapy and cosmetics, while bitter almond oil, containing benzaldehyde, is used as a food flavoring and in perfume. In culture, 1897 illustration. The almond is highly revered in some cultures. The tree originated in the Middle East. In the Bible, the almond is mentioned 10 times, beginning with Genesis 43:11, where it is described as among the best of fruits. In Numbers 17, Levi is chosen from the other tribes of Israel by Aaron's rod, which brought forth almond flowers. The almond blossom supplied a model for the menorah which stood in the holy temple. 3 cups, shaped like almond blossoms, were on one branch with a knob and a flower, and 3 cups, shaped like almond blossoms, were on the other. On the candlestick itself were 4 cups, shaped like almond blossoms with its knobs and flowers. Exodus 25:33-34, 37:19-20. In Jeremiah 1:11-12, the vision of an almond branch conveys a wordplay in Hebrew between shaked, almond, and shoked, watching, symbolizing God's vigilant commitment to fulfill His word. Many Sephardic Jews give 5 almonds to each guest before special occasions like weddings. Similarly, Christian symbolism often uses almond branches as a symbol of the virgin birth of Jesus. Paintings and icons often include almond-shaped halos encircling the Christ child and as a symbol of Mary. The word luz, which appears in Genesis 30:37, sometimes translated as hazel, may actually be derived from the Aramaic name for almond, luz, and is translated as such in the New International Version and other versions of the Bible. The Arabic name for almond is Arabic lam, Arabic wow, Arabic sayn, laz, or luz. In some parts of the Levant and North Africa, it is pronounced laz, which is very close to its Aramaic origin. The entrance of the flower, la entrada de la flor, is an event celebrated on 1 February in Torrent, Spain, in which the claverios and members of the Confrérie of the Mother of God deliver a branch of the first blooming almond tree to the Virgin.